reference we'll be eating soon. Wietske, too, suffered the same ailment. No one in the U.S. could pronounce her name. This, however, would not be a controversy for years to come. It wasn't until her first invitation that she realized her name was uncommon in the land of the supersize. Fast forward a few years, past the N64, past the Backstreet Boys wanting it that way, past the first text message, past the Harlem Shake, and on to the time these two met. Somewhere snuggled in the height of the TikTok meets influencer, while living in your mama basement common era. Leif decided to go on vacation in 2017. Being that he was an avid fan of the movie Euro Trip, he chose Amsterdam as his destination. To go in search of a simple Dutch bakery. To his dismay, the hotels and hostels in Amsterdam were almost fully booked. In exploring other Airbnb options, he found a tiny house available in the small hamlet of Groenendaal. I wasn't going to try. It was easy to access by bus, but not by foot at 3 in the morning. But that's entirely a different story to be had over cocktail hour. The first night in his Airbnb, Leif wanted to go into town to see what was happening on a Sunday night. While walking through the main square, he heard some loud shouting, controversial emotions, and rhythmic marching. There, in the shadows of the Golden Arches, exactly 3 protesters were demonstrating outside of the McDonald's. Leif didn't know it at the time, but their case was the absence of the McPanacook from the daily menu. Leif had a strong dislike for the man telling people how they can have their breakfast despite their slogan being, have it your way. He didn't know how to speak the language, but he felt the urge to contribute. Doing what any American patriot would do, he jumped headlong into the protest.
You know this rhythm sounds very familiar. I think I know I can jazz it up.
Wietske understood Leif's desire to help, but had no idea what he was talking about. She tapped him on the shoulder and said in perfect English,
Hey man, you know this is a serious initiative to get a sweet a sweet sandwich on the menu at McDonald's and not a Pearl Jam concert, right? So you can either join or gaat op fietsen.
that's Dutch for get the McMother truck out.
So then I thought to myself, wow, a cute girl who likes shouting about pancakes? Dibs. And then I said, yeah, sorry, I just wanted to help and participate. I know you're over here fighting the man, so just let me know how I can jazz it up and tap me in when you want me, coach.
Wietske quickly taught Leif some Dutch words for the protest, but after hearing him try to recite them publicly, she told him,
Why don't you just go back to singing Pearl Jam instead?
because it was more about the intention than the message itself. After the protest, Leif asked Wietske if she wanted to go to McDonald's for free chess. She said,
Bro, are you serious? What have you been doing here for the last hour?
I mean, I know we've been out here fighting the power and fighting the good fight, but I've just really been working up in the appetite.
Okay, I'll settle for a McFlurry, but to see if you're trustworthy, I have a couple of questions. They must be answered correctly.
Trixie.
First question. Oh, yeah. What do you think of daylight savings time?
You must be talking about daylight waste of savings.
Okay, second question. What is the best topping for fries?
Easy. More fries with one little lonely lost onion ring in the middle.
Okay, and next question.
Wait, 1 second though. I have no problem answering all these questions, but do I have any question?
Let me think about that. Okay.
We're gonna think about it. Still thinking. How do you feel about suggestive men's boudoir calendars?
Foxy Man of 2014 was my favorite edition.
It was for a good cause, I promise you all.
And so it was destiny. After that, Leif and Wietske saw each other more and more. First in Holland and then in the US. In 2020, they decided to move into an apartment together. I'm sure everyone can guess what came next. COVID. They got to know each other much better. It seems fate had once again intervened on their behalf. They decided they liked the idea of sharing all their stuff, including bed sheets evenly distributed at night, matching keys to each other's bike locks, and an annual trip to the IKEA. Yes, everyone, we're talking about marriage. In a small courthouse in Hoos, the two had their ceremony. It was even live streamed to the US, and it went something like this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hold hands. I can hold that. Let me hold that. Okay, we're holding that. After Leif and Wietske married in Hoos, they rode a tandem bike together around town, a beautiful symbol of joy and togetherness. For those that don't know, a tandem bicycle is a bike that seats two. There are two sets of pedals, two sets of seats, but one bike chain. The person riding in back relies on the person in front to also pedal, and vice versa. The thing about a tandem bike that is such a good metaphor for marriage is that it's two people propelling themselves forward on the same path. But I have to tell you, marriage is not always an easy ride. If we are using the tandem bike example, some days one of you will wake up and not want to pedal. Maybe you guys will need to switch who steers. Life is unpredictable, but also beautiful. And being married calls for communication and compromise, but most of all, love. Wietske and Leif have chosen to write their vows. Sorry.
Dear Mr. Mitchell, thank you for being you. Thank you for putting a smile on my face with your crazy creative jokes. Thank you for going on crazy adventures with me. Thank you for being there for me when some of my crazy adventures go wrong. Like when I broke my leg skateboarding or had my surf accident. Thank you for being sensitive and caring and speaking out if something's on your heart. Thank you for helping me with things I'm not so good at, like sometimes not doing too much in a week or getting my finances Is it order? I miss you when we are not together, but I also kind of like the feeling of missing you because it reminds me of how much I love to be with you. Every time, after being separate for a while, it's a present to see your smile again and feel the feeling of being reunited again. We've known each other for 6 years now, and we are already married for almost 3. The only thing I can say about that is that I'm really looking forward to knowing you and being by your side for many more years. You're the love of my life. Thank you for being here.
And Leif.
For those of you who didn't pick it up, we are live streaming the Michael Top Holiday Disco. Wietske. I wrote a poem or a set of words that just came to me as I was thinking about you over the last 5 years. And I've cataloged it and it's hit me and I just want to share it with you today. It's called I Love. I love the intensity you have for focusing, and I love trying to distract you even more. I love that I am writing this to you while next to you, and you're oblivious. I hope. I love that you've honed the skill. I love that you've honed the skill of impulse purchases, and that chips are always fair game for the shopping cart. I love that you went to a Caspian concert without knowing anything about their music or why I suggested bringing your clothes as well. I love that oopsies are your superpower. I love that you are never afraid to dance, anywhere, and all the time. I love that you do not allow obstacles to bring you down, but rather step over them like a staircase to your goals. I love that you are always ready to smile, and it's quite contagious. I love that cooking is exciting. I love that when I have to leave, I'm already missing you. And finally, I love that you inspire me to be exactly who I always am.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have you hold hands, and I'm going to have everybody ready the flowers. Okay. All right, guys. Leif, Wietske. Oh my God.